Earlier this week, we spoke about the fact that this is Parshat Shlach, the story of the Meraglim, the story how Moshe Rabbeinu had sent the explorers to see what the land of Israel looks like. They came back with a very discouraging report, and as we explained, it wasn't, God forbid, having lost faith in the capability, in the power, and in the miracles of God, but basically what they said, we want to be intellectual Jews. We want to involve ourselves. Our relationship with God should be just the study of Torah and not to have to be preoccupied, not to have to even waste time and energy on the mundane. Eretz acheles yeshver. We don't want the earth to absorb us in the preoccupation and activity of the world. Intentions were good, but it's a completely mistaken notion of what Judaism is. God gave us 630 mitzvot. Each one of them is a hands-on mitzvah. Head on, hands on, feet on, an actual practical application of Torah mitzvot, which this is how we can perfect the world. This is why God created a world, so that He should have an abode, a residence, a dwelling place in this world, not just in the clouds in the desert, but in the out of the cloud type of a world, and underneath the clouds, if I can say so, where we are actually practicing and living Judaism. Today I want to just focus on a different aspect of this story, a most fascinating dialogue between God and Moshe Rabbeinu. At one point God says, I am upset. God says to Moshe Rabbeinu, how could this be? How is it possible for them not to believe and trust me with all the miracles that I've shown them? I'm going to destroy them. And God says, they don't get it. Why don't they trust me that I said that they will be able to lead their Judaism even in a mundane world? You get it, Moshe Rabbeinu. You are the one who understood it. And as such, says God, I'm going to make you into the new nation. I will make you into this big nation and the powerful nation. Moshe turns around to God and says, hold it. And what are the Egyptians going to say? If this is what you're going to do, you're going to annihilate the entire nation, how will the world look at that? It says it's going to be a chilul Hashem. It's going to be desecration of your name. Why? What are they going to say? They're not going to say because the people were not behaving properly. How can we even fathom the idea that the people weren't behaving properly since you've been sheltering them, you've been carrying them, you've been babying them, you've been looking after all their needs in this most fascinating way. So obviously you have a special feeling for them and they have a special appreciation for you. So what are they going to say? That, you know what, God? Apparently, you couldn't succeed in your mission. You couldn't bring them into Eretz Yisrael, and therefore you killed them, and therefore you destroyed them. Says God, this is going to be a chilul Hashem. What are the nations going to say? You can't make this happen. And I, as Moshe Rabbeinu, can allow this to happen. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu says, Yigdan lo koyach Hashem. Show your greatness, show your strength. And what is your strength? In forgiveness. Hashem ker erech hapayim rav chesed. God will forgive. And then God says, as we continuously say Yom Kippur, Salachti kidvorecha. Moshe Rabbeinu at his best. After the story of the Chet Egel, where he put his life on line. Now he says, God, you can't put yourself in this predicament. Moshe Rabbeinu, the ultimate Oyev Jewish shepherd, the Roye Nemen. Today, while in my visit in prison, I had this most beautiful discussion. A Jew who knows very little of Judaism, born and raised in Russia, never really had an opportunity to learn much of Judaism. He only found out about Tefillin while he's being in jail. And the other week I brought him a book. I did not know what the book is. A booklet, I should say. And it turns out it's a booklet about Moshe Rabbeinu. the story of Moshe Rabbeinu, and listen to what he told me today. I read it. And you know what? And he pointed out, I was reading this book, I felt it in my heart. At times I was crying, at times I was happy, depending on the story of the book. Now, he didn't go into the details when he was crying and when he was happy. But he said, I felt Moshe Rabbeinu in my, I say heart, probably my soul. He was emotional when he shared this with me. That's Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is in the soul of every single Jew. And he made a commitment. Coming out of jail, he will start practicing those mitzvahs. Let's all connect to the Moshe Rabbeinu of our generation.